Welcome to the ASTRALX Deep Dive, illuminating your path. I'm Lunaria Celine, your intuitive guide.
And I'm Solarian Zephyr, your Cosmic Strategist,
Together we bridge celestial wisdom,
to unlock your modern path
discover guiding starlight insights.
and explore powerful cosmic energies.
For this deep dive, we're really zeroing in on a specific journey in 2025. We're looking at the map for a Libra Sun, Aquarius rising individual.
The archetype the source material calls the Cosmic Mediator. It's a great name.
It really is. And the material kicks things off with a core question, kind of setting the stage. How do planetary transits shape your story today?
Yeah, it's the perfect hook. We've got some really rich insights here, offering a unique look at this specific celestial profile and what their year ahead might look like.
Exactly. So let's unpack this. Let's dive in.
Okay, so this Cosmic Mediator,
Yeah.
the force paints a really vivid picture.
Mm-hmm.
It describes this identity as like a fusion.
A fusion. Okay.
Yeah, on one side, you've got the Libra Sun, the harmony artisan,
Mm-hmm.
always striving for balance, equilibrium, like a cosmic diplomat, you know?
Right, using those golden scales. I get that.
And then you layer on the Aquarius rising. That's the starlight revolutionary. This part is driven by this almost electric vision to rewrite the rules, push for big innovation, change things on a grand scale.
So it's not just about, like, keeping the peace in a room, but actually architecting the future, balancing that.
Precisely.
Yeah.
For this Cosmic Mediator in 2025, the main calling, according to this material, is to be that bridge, to broker peace between the human heart's wisdom and the future that's rushing towards us.
Brokering peace between the heart and the future.
Yeah, merging that Libra grace, that Venusian quality, with a kind of forward-thinking, sometimes quantum leap innovation of Aquarius, is this interplay, this dance between diplomacy and radical change.
Merging grace with innovation. I love that image. It's like bringing beauty and ethics right to the cutting edge. Okay, so let's look at the actual astrological weather for 2025 through this specific lens. What are the big energies at play for our Cosmic Mediator based on these sources?
Well, the material flags several major transits shaping the year. Probably the most impactful is Pluto. Pluto, planet of transformation, power. It's moving into Aquarius and hitting your first house.
Your first house. Okay, that's identity, appearance, how you show up in the world.
Right, your core self, your physical presence.
Pluto there. That sounds intense, like a fundamental rewrite of the self.
It absolutely is. The source actually calls it an identity singularity. Think of it like your own personal frequency suddenly locking in or becoming quantum entangled with the collective destiny.
Wow, entangled with destiny.
Yeah, your whole persona, how you project yourself, it becomes like a lightning rod for that revolutionary Aquarian energy. The text says your old masks, the ways you used to be, they just start to vaporize. Yeah, allowing your deeper soul blueprint, your true essence, to really come through. This isn't just like changing your hair. It's a core shift in who you are and how you connect to the world's bigger changes.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting, as the source says.
Exactly, because your personal evolution stops being just personal. It gets plugged into this universal current of revolution.
Wow.
Yes, I am.
A lot of pressure. Or maybe a lot of power. Depends how you look at it, I guess.
Both, probably. So what else is shaping the year? We've also got Saturn, the planet of structure, karma, responsibility, moving through Pisces.
Okay, Saturn in Pisces.
And this is happening in your fourth house. That's your roots, home, family, your emotional foundations, the deep stuff.
Right. So Saturn, the builder, is in watery, boundaryless Pisces in the house of foundations. That sounds tricky.
It's complex, definitely. Saturn normally wants to build solid walls.
Yeah.
But here it meets the dissolving nature of Pisces, which is Neptune-ruled, very connected to the ancestral past, the collective unconscious.
Structure meets the ocean.
Pretty much. The source uses this great phrase, Saturn's karmic architecture, dissolving in Neptune's ancestral oceans.
No.
So the main task becomes this paradox.
Yeah.
You have to build emotional sanctuaries, create real security internally and externally, but while you're navigating and healing the old family stuff, the generational ghosts.
So finding stability inside the emotional tide.
Exactly. Building your safe harbor while the ancestral sea is swirling around you. It's deep work.
Building sanctuaries amid dissolving oceans.
Yeah, that paints a picture.
Okay, and Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion. It's on the move too, isn't it?
Yes, Jupiter, the big benefactor. It starts 2025 in Gemini, transiting your third house until about May.
Third house. Communication, learning, local scene, siblings.
Right. The source calls this Jupiter's neural superhighway. So expect a time where your mind is fast, connections are buzzing, opportunities pop up through talking, writing, learning new things. Lots of mental stimulation.
Okay, so the first part of the year is mentally switched on, lots of connections.
Exactly. But then, from June onwards, Jupiter shifts. It moves into Cancer, the sign of nurturing, emotion, home,
Ah, into the fourth house where Saturn
right
is.
into the fourth house. So now Jupiter is expanding that same area of home, family, roots. The source says Jupiter floods your emotional event horizon.
Emotional event horizon.
Yeah, implying this huge expansion of your inner world, your feelings, your intuition. It notes this is where intuition might really ramp up, potentially becoming something more like clairvoyance.
Mm.
So first half, supercharged thinking and communication. Second half, deep dive into your emotional and intuitive landscape, connected right back to your foundations.
From a mental superhighway to, what, an emotional superpower, that's quite the journey within 1 year.
It really is.
And eclipses, they always signal big turning points. Where are they falling for the Cosmic Mediator?
Okay, the eclipses in 2025 are in Aries and Libra. So they're hitting your first and seventh houses, that axis of self and other.
Right, the relationship axis.
Exactly. There's a Libra full moon eclipse on March 29th. That's in your first house of self. Then an Aries full moon eclipse on September 17th, hitting your seventh house of partnership.
Eclipses across self and partnership sounds like a major recalibration is needed there.
For sure. The source actually calls them relational supernovas.
Supernovas, okay.
Yeah, they ignite this really potent dynamic between your key relationships, romantic, business, whatever, and your own evolving identity. Especially for a Libra sun who naturally seeks harmony in relationships, these eclipses are described as radical tests of authenticity.
So how does my personal revolution affect my partnerships, and how do they challenge or support me, that kind of thing?
Precisely. It's that tension between me, Pluto on the first, and we eclipses on the first seventh axis. Your diplomacy skills are going to be tested in new ways, demanding real, raw honesty.
Okay, so we've got deep identity shifts, ancestral healing, emotional floods, relationship fireworks. That's a lot. It's a profoundly transformative year mapped out here.
Definitely. And the material doesn't just leave it at the intellectual level. It talks about how these energies might actually feel in the body, the somatic resonance.
Ah, right. How does it manifest physically?
Well, for that intense Pluto and Aquarius work in the first house, the identity reboot the source suggests you might feel like electric surges, maybe in your ankles or the crown of your head, or just a general buzziness in the nervous system as your whole persona gets rewired.
Feeling the cosmic upgrade.
Yeah.
Literally buzzing.
Yeah.
Makes sense for Aquarian energy.
Yeah. And what about the Saturn and Pisces stuff in the fourth, that ancestral work?
Hmm.
For that process, the dissolving and rebuilding in your emotional foundations, it might show up as a distinct feeling of like saltwater pressure in the chest, or maybe in the womb space. The source specifically notes this might be stronger during family visits or interactions.
Saltwater pressure, like carrying the echo of the ancestors or the sea itself. Wow.
It's evocative, isn't it? And then there's Mars, planet of action, energy, heat. When it moves through Leo in your eighth house, that's July, August.
Eighth house. Shared resources, intimacy, power dynamics.
Right. Mars brings its fire there. And the source says this combo can feel like actual volcanic heat, maybe concentrated in your hips or your palms, especially during intense conversations about shared things or, intimate negotiations.
Okay, so the body is like a barometer, a roadmap for these energies. It's not just happening out there.
Not at all. It's very embodied.
The source also grounds this archetype by looking at history and culture, giving context.
It does, yeah. It highlights what it calls the mediator's legacy, points to historical figures who seem to embody this mix of diplomacy and revolutionary thinking.
Like who?
Well, Thomas Jefferson is mentioned, Libra sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
The diplomatic idealist, drafting declarations, but also the Aquarian innovator, apparently revolutionizing agriculture too, that blend.
Interesting pairing.
And Martin Luther King Jr. is another powerful example cited. Libra's drive for justice and harmony, but combined with Aquarius's visionary tactics, merging, poetic grace with challenging the system head on.
That's a really potent legacy to connect with. There's a quote in the source, isn't there? Your charm disarms empires, your vision builds new galaxies.
That's the one. It speaks directly to that potential, that unique power of blending harmony with forward vision.
Right.
It sets a high bar, maybe, but it shows the capacity.
Yeah, it underscores the potential influence. And to make it even more relatable today, the source uses cultural references too.
It does, and they're quite evocative.
That's
It
right.
says your core essence is like Captain Picard from Star Trek.
Ah, the ethical diplomat in space.
Exactly. Meets Robert Daly from Black Mirror.
Oh, okay. The tech genius, but with complications. So, ethical statecraft meets tech augmented idealism, maybe with a warning label.
Something like that. It captures the unique challenges and the gifts, the potential pitfalls maybe.
And cinematically,
It's like the movie Lincoln that focus on negotiation, holding things together fused with the feel of herd. You know, that more intimate, maybe slightly detached, futuristic, emotional vibe.
weighty diplomacy meets future focused intimacy.
Got it.
And music.
Musically, it's Janelle Monáe's Electric Lady, that futuristic, boundary-pushing Aquarian energy,
Totally.
mixed with Frank Sinatra's Fly Me to the Moon, the smooth, idealistic, maybe even romantic Lebanon reach for something beautiful and harmonious.
Okay, those comparisons really land. They help make this archetype feel more tangible, like you can see pieces of it around. So, with all this energy swirling, how does the source actually guide the cosmic mediator through 2025? It maps out an interactive journey.
Yes, it provides a kind of pathway, broken down into phases based on the main transits.
Mhm.
Phase 1 is the identity revolution, basically January through May. This ties directly into that big Pluto work in your first house.
Right, the core identity shift.
And the key pause and reflect question for this time is pretty direct. What social mask, Pluto first, suffocates my authenticity? What future self demands embodiment? It's about facing what needs to go.
Confronting the masks. Okay, what's the ritual they suggest for this? It sounds like it needs something potent.
It does. The ritual blueprint is time for the Aquarius new moon, January 29th. It's called Circuit Breaker Liberation.
Circuit breaker liberation, I like it.
The steps are very symbolic. You write down limiting labels or beliefs on biodegradable paper. Soak them in salt water for cleansing. Then, and this is unique, you lightly zap them with a 9V battery.
Zap them, really?
Yeah, a symbolic zap while chanting, I am code rebooting destiny. Then you bury the remains. It's like literally cutting the old energetic wiring.
Zapping your limitations. That's definitely memorable. And is there an embodiment practice to help ground this?
Yes, the starlight span activation. You stand barefoot, feeling the earth. Visualize electric blue light, that Aquarian energy rising up your spine. Then breathe in rose gold light, Libra's balancing grace through your heart. Hold both, then exhale the combined energy through your fingertips, directing it.
So integrating the revolution and the grace physically.
Exactly. Feeling that current, but tempering it with the heart.
Okay, moving into the next phase. Ancestral and eclipse alchemy. March to September. This sounds like it covers the Saturn eclipse action.
It does. It combines the fourth house ancestral work with those powerful first, seventh house eclipses. The pause and reflect question highlighted here, especially after that Aries eclipse in March, is intense. Where did this eclipse expose self-betrayal in relationships? What warrior-diplomat must I become?
Self-betrayal, warrior-diplomat.
Wow. It links the external relationship tests right back to your inner integrity.
Yes. And calls for a new way of being in those dynamics.
So what's the ritual for that big Libra full moon eclipse in September, the one in the first house?
That ritual blueprint is called the Mask of Cosmic Equilibrium. You actually make a mask out of clay.
Okay.
One half you smooth and polish, that's the Libra desire for perfect harmony. The other half you texture it like a circuit board, or maybe cracked earth, representing the Aquarian complexity, the innovation, maybe even the chaos.
Polished harmony meets integrated chaos.
And then, with intention, you shatter the mask with a hammer while chanting, I am integrated chaos. Shattering the mask, that's a powerful symbol of letting go of the need for perfection and just embracing the dynamic reality.
Totally. It's about accepting the complex balance you actually embody.
And the embodiment practice for navigating this self-other tension.
It's the seventh first house pendulum. This one involves a partner. You gently hold wrists and alternate pulling apart, slightly symbolizing your first house selfhood, and then coming together, the seventh house connection.
Feeling that push and pull.
Exactly. And you breathe with the mantra, space nurtures connection.
Mm.
It embodies that core eclipse lesson. Real connection needs room for individuality.
Boundaries aren't the opposite of connection, they enable it. Makes sense. Okay, final phase. Emotional expansion, June to December. This must connect to Jupiter moving into Cancer in the fourth.
Precisely. This phase is all about that deep nourishment, that expansion happening in your roots, your emotional world. The pause and reflect question for this time, especially around late June, is what buried family story heals through my voice? How do roots become rocket fuel?
Roots become rocket fuel. I like that, turning the past into propulsion.
Yeah, finding the strength in your history, not just the burdens.
What's the ritual blueprint here?
It's for the Libra new moon in September, called the Roots to Stars Mandala. You take a jar or a vessel and layer things inside. Soil for roots and ancestors, microchips or tech bits for the Aquarian future, rose petals for Libra's grace and heart.
Earth, tech, and heart.
Right. You place this under your bed, letting the energies integrate while you sleep, and you chant, "My lineage dreams through me."
A tangible reminder of integrating past, future, and heart right where you rest. And the embodiment.
It's the fourth house ocean breath. You lie face down, hands below your navel, connecting to your core. Inhale, visualizing huge tidal waves washing through you, cleansing, powerful. Exhale, focusing on releasing old ancestral patterns, maybe humming softly, which the source suggests helps attune your psychic DNA.
A deep somatic clearing and integration of that ancestral ocean. Sounds really grounding.
It does.
So, with all these intense transits, these practices, these deep questions, the source material also outlines potential outcomes, right? Depending on how the Cosmic Mediator engages with all this, these 3 quantum trajectories.
Yes, and it really emphasizes that these aren't set in stone. They depend on the choices you make. The first potential timeline is called the Architect of Utopia.
Okay, sounds ambitious.
It is. This path emerges if you successfully integrate both Pluto's revolution in the first house and Jupiter's expansion in the fourth. It looks like leading major movements, blending social change and tech, specifically aimed at healing generational wounds or systemic issues.
Using future tools to heal the past.
Exactly. The source even suggests things like founding diplomacy 2.0 platforms, maybe using AI ethically for conflict resolution. The potential outcome, huge impact, maybe even a Nobel Peace Prize or rewriting international charters.
Wow. And the key choice determining this path.
Prioritizing ethical tech and human well-being over just profit or speed.
Got it. What's the second possible trajectory?
This one's the Rebel Harmonizer. This path comes from really mastering the challenges of the eclipses and Mars in the 8th. Here, your partnerships become fuel for revolution.
How so?
You might use your platform, your art, your voice to expose corruption, maybe through investigative work, powerful documentaries, or strategic whistleblowing, but always with that characteristic Libran elegance and discernment. You're not just raging, you're revealing truth with grace.
Revolution with style and substance.
Right. The key choice here is about protection. How do you safeguard your loved ones and your own stability while you're shaking things up and revealing difficult truths?
A crucial balance.
Okay.
And the third timeline, the one to be mindful of avoiding.
That's the fractured futurist. This happens if there's significant resistance, especially to Saturn's call for foundation building in the 4th and Pluto's demand for authenticity in the 1st.
So, avoiding the deep work.
Essentially, unhealed ancestral issues end up triggering ongoing identity crises. The powerful Pluto transformation still happens, but it manifests as erratic behavior, maybe scandals, public breakdowns, rather than conscious growth.
Oof.
The result is alienating people, feeling like a burned prophet whose message gets lost, and potentially dealing with chronic anxiety. The key choice to avoid this is actively letting go of relationships or patterns that are holding you back, that stifle the evolution that needs to happen.
That's a really stark illustration of how resistance can lead to fragmentation. It really highlights why engaging consciously is so important.
Absolutely.
The source wraps this up with a mantra for the Cosmic Mediator, doesn't it?
It does. It really captures the essence. I negotiate with galaxies. My scales weigh stardust. My vision rewires fate. Where grace meets revolution, I birth tomorrow from today's fragile peace.
Negotiate with galaxies. Birth tomorrow from today's fragile peace. That holds the weight and the potential beautifully.
It really does.
And there were some final astrological footnotes, too, just summarizing key takeaways.
All right, just quick hits. Reiterating that Aquarius rising electrifies Libra's diplomacy, creating that visionary statesman vibe. Pluto in the 1st drives revolution through embodied authenticity. Saturn in the 4th demands building that sacred, resilient foundation.
The core energetic signatures.
Yeah, and key body zones highlighted are the circulatory system, Aquarius, the kidneys, Libra's balance, and the hands, tactile creation, diplomacy, meeting ingenuity. Embodiment practice blends Libra's balance with Aquarius's nervous system calibration, finding calm in the electricity.
And it noted the historical lens, right?
Yes, just pointing out that the specific historical examples used tend to focus on masculine expressions of this ethical futurism archetype.
Good to know. Okay, so bringing this all together, what does this mean for you, the listener? We've gone deep into a very specific profile, Libra Sun, Aquarius rising, but the journey we've explored touches on themes that are truly universal, don't you think?
Absolutely. That identity revolution, who are you really becoming? Healing the past. How does your lineage shape you, and how can you shape it going forward? Relationships and authenticity, staying true while connecting deeply. And choosing your future, recognizing your agency in creating your path.
Exactly. This whole deep dive really shows how these cosmic energies aren't just out there ideas. They have real, felt effects, physical, emotional, relational. And crucially, that by engaging with them consciously, with intention, through reflection, through practices like the ones outlined, you can genuinely shift your trajectory.
You really can. It brings up a vital point to ponder. How does truly honoring your past, not just giving it a nod, but really integrating it, healing the parts that need healing? How does that specifically prepare you to build the revolutionary future you envision? How does it become fuel, like the source says, rather than an anchor holding you back?
A powerful question to sit with as our cosmic journey concludes.
Dive deeper into your unique path.
Request your email audio reading now.
Find the link in the description below.
Explore episode resources and links.
All details are waiting for you there.
Ignite, think, become.
Subscribe for Starlight Insights.
Thank you for joining us.